Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. All my friends out there on the internet. Just gonna wait a few more minutes for people to show up. And today I'm going live to talk about Trump's new order that's expected today, Thursday, June 11th. This order is going to temporarily bar non-immigrant visas from being issued. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to answer any questions that you have. And this order is expected to be signed today, and it's going to be issued tomorrow. We expect that it will be issued tomorrow evening around 5 o'clock. That's usually when they sneak in these sorts of news. Is anybody out there? Is everybody out there? Just checking to see if anybody's with me. I hope you all are well and safe and practicing social distancing to the extent that you can. Hope your families are well. So a little more about this this executive order. First of all, this is just a rumor about the what's going to happen. There's nothing definitive yet in place, and we don't know exactly what Trump will come up with. This is all rumors, but it's from credible sources. I'm getting this from the American Immigration Lawyers Association, which I've been a member of, proud member for many years. The order is expected to target L1 visas, H1B visas, H2B visas, and possibly O1 visas. We don't have any news yet on whether it will target K1 visas. K1 visa is technically a non-immigrant visa. But we don't have any rumors are that this classification of visa is not going to be targeted, which would be great. They've announced some other changes there's going to be plenty of exemptions to this ban. So there'll be exemptions for healthcare workers, for workers in certain food services. They've also proposed new regulations that would restrict the availability of OPT to those on student visas. And also, this is just a rumor. Again, this is just a rumor. The other thing that I want to mention is that this order would only apply to people who are outside the United States. So if you're inside the United States, oh, hi, Alicia. I'll answer your question in just a second. What I want to say is if you're inside the United States, this order would not impact you because it's only for people seeking visas who are outside the United States. Now, let me just go to this question here. I'm going to put this on the screen. So, Alicia, thank you for your question. It says, I just got my OPT approved, and it's supposed to begin in July. Would it impact this as well? First of all, thank you for your question. Congratulations on graduating. That's a massive accomplishment. So you should be proud of that. So the regulation that they're talking about for OPT is something that they have to change the regulations for. So there's an elaborate period where they post comments, and they have to do things like this. And so the short answer to your question is this would not impact you at all because it's going to take a long time for them to put this into place. So hopefully you are not going to be impacted. Tony Nero is on board. Hey, Tony, how are you doing? One of my favorite lawyers and human beings, an amazing public defender. Here we have a Facebook user. Thank you, anonymous Facebook user. It says, would this impact an I-130 for a spouse? No, this would not impact for an I-130 for a spouse. So this ban only targets non-immigrant visas. I-130 for a spouse is barred by the prior executive order if the petitioning spouse is a permanent resident. If you're a U.S. citizen petitioning for your spouse, then you have no issue. You should be fine. We have Johnny. She says, every day I fear waking up to see spouse visas get banned. Spouse visas have been banned if you are a permanent resident. So if you're a permanent resident and you petition for your spouse, according to the prior order, this is not possible. But U.S. citizens can still petition for their spouses. Here we have another question from Mahesh. Thank you for your question, by the way, my friend. It says, when are you expecting the executive order? Everything that I'm talking about today is just rumors that I'm passing along, but they're so credible and I'm getting so many questions about them that I felt compelled to come on and talk. I'm expecting the Trump administration to sign the order today, Thursday, June 11th, and I'm expected it to be released tomorrow on June 12th. You should look into this attorney for both directions. Seems knowledgeable. Thank you so much, Constance. I do my best. And if you or anyone you know has any questions about this executive order or anything else, please post them on here or message me. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Here we have Rupan. Rupan, thank you so much for your question. This is a user from YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite channels. I post videos on YouTube every week. I'm going to be doing that a lot more. And if you go onto YouTube, I would be proud if you subscribe to my channel, if you like my videos, if you find them useful or helpful. And if there's any questions that you have, I'd be happy to make a YouTube video to answer your question. But to answer this question from Rupan, it says here, do you have any updates about the 60-day immigration ban? Because my spouse is waiting abroad for an interview and I'm a green card holder. First of all, my heart goes out to you because I hate this order. I hate what the Trump administration is doing, and it pains me. The 60 days expires on June 24th. So it's a temporary ban that expires on June 24th. And the question is, what's going to happen on June 24th? Are they going to expand and extend the ban or not? My expectation is that they unfortunately will extend the ban. Because I don't think Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are going to think, okay, well, we want to allow immigrants to come back into the country. They want to do everything they can to restrict the rights of immigrants, to even those who are legal immigrants. They're against legal immigration. Here we have a very handsome young man named Peter. Extremely friendly looking guy, actually just a friend of mine, but he's posting a good question. Would a 2019 J1 graduate with 1 year OPT expiring reapply for J1 be affected? That's a great question. It's a pretty narrow one. I think we have to wait and see till when the executive order is released to see what the technical details are, to see exactly how J1 visa holders are going to be impacted. By the way, I just want to mention that I'm in a pretty beautiful surroundings today. It's a different environment than I normally shoot in. I'm in Lake Arrowhead, California, where I'm here for a month with my family, and I'm working remotely as long as I have an internet connection. I'm still filing Mandamus lawsuits, doing consultations, doing everything through Zoom and over the phone. But doing it remotely and staying safe. Peter, thanks again for your question. Facebook user, how will it impact people who are undergoing administrative processing? That's a great question. As you know, if you follow my videos and my content, administrative processing is an issue that's incredibly important to me, and I work nonstop all the time to help people who are in administrative processing. So the people who I think will be impacted by this are people who are outside the United States, people who are in administrative processing, and who are waiting for a non-immigrant visa to be approved. In particular, we're talking about H-1Bs, L-1 visas, and H-2B visas. And I have some clients who've hired me to file mandamus lawsuits to challenge administrative processing delays for non-immigrant visas in those categories. And when this order has come out, it could be very devastating news. Why does the Trump administration keep trying to restrict immigration? Any clues, sir? The Trump administration and the Republican Party is united in their opposition to immigration. When they, during the election, they said that they were only against illegal immigration, but not against legal immigration. But now that they're in power, they seem to take issue with legal immigration too, and they're restricting it in every way they can. And, it doesn't make any sense to me, for example. Trump is going around the country and he's encouraging states to reopen to get the economy going. He is encouraging businesses to remove lockdown, and he is doing all this. But at the same time, he's using the coronavirus as an excuse to restrict visa issuances. So it doesn't make any sense. It's contradictory. And there you have it. I mean, Trump himself is his grandfather was an immigrant, Stephen Miller's grandparents were immigrants, I believe. So it's all hypocrisy. It's all contradictory. It's all political. And hopefully Trump will be removed from office. He'll lose the election, and we can undo the damage that he's done to our immigration system. Let's see what it says here. Lorenzo, thank you so much for your question, my friend. I'm a green card holder, but I stayed out of the U.S. before COVID, and I'm going to have trouble coming back in. Thank you so much. I'm in Colombia. That's where I am. Muchísimas gracias por su pregunta. Yo voy a tratar de contestarlo en la mejor manera que puedo. I think if I had a green card and I was outside the United States right now, I would do my best to come back to the United States as soon as possible. Nothing in this executive order or any other is going to directly impact the ability of a permanent resident to return to the United States. Nevertheless, I would be uneasy about being outside the United States. So if you have a visa and you can come into the U.S. and you have the ability to travel, you should try to do so as soon as you can. Here's another one. What about those who already have a stamped L1 visa? Will this impact them? So if this is from my friend Sandeep Ramesh. Thank you so much for your question, Sandeep. So this order, as I understand it, is expected to impact people who don't already have a visa. If you already have the visa in your passport and you just need to travel back into the U.S., then you would not be impacted at all. And you should travel back to the U.S. as soon as you can. But this leads me to another question. I've had some people say, well, I've already been approved because I'm in administrative processing. Would I be impacted by this? And the answer is yes, because you are not approved if you are in administrative processing. If you're in administrative processing, you're waiting. You're still waiting to be approved. Nothing's approved until you're approved. If you're in administrative processing, everything's put on hold. So I think that you're at risk if you're in administrative processing and you're waiting for an H-1B visa, an L-1 visa, or an H-2B visa. You have a flight on the 24th. Safe travels, and I hope you get back soon. Michelle has a question. Thank you so much for your question, my friend. Says, I'm in the U.S. with an L1. Both my visa and my I-94 expire in March of 2021. When do you think I could apply for an L1 renewal? So my understanding is that you can apply for an L1 renewal within 180 days of the expiration of your L1 status. You can also, Michelle, do a change of status. So that would allow you to effectively renew your L1 visa within the U.S. So you wouldn't have to travel outside the United States. This would essentially make it impossible for you to ever leave the United States, though. So it's not a perfect solution. The other thing to keep in mind is that we do have an election in November. Trump might lose the election, fingers crossed. And if he does lose the election, then there will be a new president. President Biden will take office in January of 2021 and presumably could undo all of these suspensions. Here we have a question from, I don't know how to say this person's name, but thank you for your question. It says here, I'm traveling on an H-1B visa on June 17th. Will I be allowed to get in? And the answer is probably yes. I don't see why. This particular ban does not impact you, because it only impacts people who are waiting outside the United States for their visa to be issued. And again, everything I'm saying in this video is based on rumors of what I think the executive order will be. So I could be wrong. I could be peddling rumors. I hope I'm not. The rumors are coming from very credible sources, such as the American Immigration Lawyers Association. But nevertheless, we have to wait and see what this executive order actually is. And again, I'm going to be going live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to answer questions about this order as soon as it's released. I'll be going live on Saturday morning as well. And as soon as I can, if people have questions. Here we have a question from Facebook user. It says, Josh, I got an administrative processing on the 18th of February, 2020 for an F-21 immigrant visa. I'm in Uzbekistan right now with my wife. She is a green card holder. Right now, my wife is in the U.S. Our first baby is coming in the U.S. Could you tell me what's going to happen with my administrative processing? First of all, my friend, I was just talking with several people from Uzbekistan this morning about administrative processing issues. If you have questions, please message me. I'd love to meet with you and talk to you more directly about your case. But let me see what I can do to answer your question right now. First of all, with respect to your baby, congratulations. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I still feel like a new father myself. So I remember vividly the incredible joy of becoming a father, and my heart goes out to you, and I'm happy for you, and I wish you were there with your wife and family. As you know, the prior executive order bars the issuance of visas to the spouse of a green card holder. So I guess that begs the question, which is it possible for your wife to file for naturalization? How many years has she had a green card? That's something that I would explore right now, because if your wife could naturalize and become a U.S. citizen, that could be a solution to this. Administrative processing, I can solve administrative processing with a Mandamus lawsuit, but in your particular situation, it's impossible to get the visa issued because it's barred by the executive order. So it's not really an administrative processing issue anymore. It's an executive order problem. I would explore the possibility of trying to naturalize. If your wife could naturalize, then that would fix the situation. I want to go back to Michelle. It says, I'm in the U.S. with an L1. No, I already answered his question. Here we go. Michelle, thanks for the info and for getting my name right. For the follow-up, I can't tell if maybe you're German or French or from Benelux. I'm not sure. Follow-up question. Do you anticipate that the ongoing green card applications are likely to be suspended or excessively delayed? So the focus of my entire law practice right now is helping people who have been subjected to delays. So I file lawsuits I sue consulates and USCIS to help people whose naturalization applications are delayed, people whose green card applications are delayed. I think the delays are a tactic that the Republican administration is using to restrict immigration, and we need to challenge those. But I don't know. I think it probably will continue for the time being. Let me answer some other questions here. Says here, Alex. I've explained. Let me answer this question. So, Alex Saul, first of all, thank you for your question. He's a Canadian. Canadians, fantastic. I'm a Canadian currently living in the U.S. on a J1 visa, and my H1B visa has been approved for a new job starting in September. Will I be able to start my new H-1B visa in September under this executive order? I believe that normally I will have to leave the country and return in order to start in H-1B, but is there another option? It may be possible for you to file a change of status, but my understanding of what we expect from this executive order is that it would bar the issuance of a new H-1B visa. So that would mean it would be impossible for you to go outside the United States, get an H-1B visa, and come back to the U.S. So maybe there's a possibility you could do a change of status, which would allow you to switch from a J-1 visa to an H-1B visa while you're in the United States. That's what I would explore if I were you. Give your immigration lawyer a call or let me know if you need help. But that's what I would explore, because I think it may be impossible to leave the U.S. And that also points out something it's so stupid. This executive order is so stupid. Here we have Alex, who may be able to get his H-1B visa status by doing a change of status, but it'd be impossible for him to get an H-1B visa by going outside of the United States to go to a consulate. So it doesn't make any sense. It's not doing anything. Here's a question from another Facebook user. It says, hello, Josh. Hello, friend. Will this order impact K-1 visas? That is a key question. I don't know the answer. No one knows the answer. Rumors are that it will not impact people who are seeking a K-1 visa. A K-1 visa is a fiance visa for someone who is engaged to get married to a U.S. citizen. This is the whole 90-day fiance thing where you get the visa and you come into the U.S., you can get married and apply for a green card in the U.S. Technically, this is a non-immigrant visa, even though the visa holder is coming to the U.S. for the purposes of getting married and getting a green card. It's considered a non-immigrant visa because I suppose whether the marriage takes place is uncertain. So the person could come into the U.S. and then return. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, it's a non-immigrant visa, and it's not rumored to be impacted. So we will be watching this closely. Here we have another Facebook user. Thank you so much for your question. I hope you're well wherever you are. Says, hey, Josh, I got a 221G white slip on February 4th from Hyderabad consulate in India. When can I expect to get my visa stamped? Well, that's a question, isn't it? No one knows how long administrative processing takes. And I've devoted most of my time right now to filing lawsuits against consulates. I file mandamus lawsuits to challenge these sorts of 221G administrative processing delays, and I help people with these issues. If you were seeking an H-1B visa, then you want to watch this executive order very closely to see if it impacts you. But administrative processing takes as long as it takes. You either wait it out or you file a mandamus lawsuit, and that's the only two solutions. And I hope you get your visa soon. Alex has a follow-up question. Thanks for the info. To clarify, my H-1B visa has already been approved, but I'm not in that status now. I'm in the U.S. on a J-1 visa. Is there a way to start the approved without leaving the U.S. visa? Yes, that's exactly the solution that I was suggesting, Alex. Perhaps you can do a change of status. So there are two ways to move from a J-1 visa to an H-1B visa. One way is to consular process. You go outside the U.S., you go to the consulate interviews you, they put a new visa stamp in your passport, you're good to go, and you come back to the U.S. The other way to get the visa is through a change of status. The change of status moves you from a J-1 visa to an H-1B visa. Here we have a question from a friend called The Art of Cooking. I could use some of that art in my life. My wife received a 221G. This is a synonym for administrative processing, 221G, on her interview, and we were asked for more evidence and a joint sponsor. We uploaded this in September of 2019, and we haven't heard anything yet, and I'm a U.S. citizen. Well, my friend, you would be a great candidate for a mandamus lawsuit. I take people in your situation and I file a lawsuit. I sue the consulate and the State Department and USCIS and other immigration agencies. And after I sue the agencies, they release the visa. Because if you haven't gotten the visa yet and you've been waiting since September of 2019, that's completely ridiculous. It's absurd. And I hope you message me. I'd love to chat with you. We can get on a Zoom call, or I can give you a call and we can talk. And this would be a great case for a mandamus lawsuit. It's a massive opportunity to get your visa approved. And this is what I do. I love mandamus lawsuits. I hate administrative processing delays. They're so unfair and they're so unreasonable. So, Mr. Art of Cooking or Miss Art of Cooking, I hope you contact me. I would love to help you. Facebook user, can I apply for that lawsuit? Well, I don't know your particular situation, but if you're interested in filing the lawsuit, message me and I will send you a link where you can book an appointment with me for free. And we can talk about your case, because it's very hard. People message me and they say, well, I want to apply for a mandamus lawsuit. Can I do it now? Or they say, how much do you charge? And it's very hard for me to answer these questions without asking questions for you. And I have to know which consulate you're at. What type of immigration case do you have? What your immigration status is? How long you've been waiting? And I need to know more facts, what the issues are. So I'd be happy to chat with you and learn more about your situation and help you out, because I dedicate my time and energy to helping people who have been subject to delays. It's for an H-4 visa. Well, I think before we file the lawsuit, we have to know exactly what happens with the administrative processing order that we'll get tomorrow. So that, I don't see any other questions coming up. We will, again, just to summarize, we're expecting this order to be signed today. We're expecting the order, let's see here. We're expecting the order to be signed today. We're expecting the order to be issued tomorrow, Friday evening. And if that's the case, as soon as I get the order, I'm going to be going live to answer questions about it. Here's a good question. How can I take an appointment for filing the lawsuit with you? What you should do is message me through Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, just send me a message. I'll post my email here. This is my email address. Let's see. That's me. That's my email. Send me an email. That's the best way to reach me. And just what you can do, then I will send you a link where you can book an appointment with me for free. I'm doing these for free right now during the COVID-19 to help people. Yes, you can have a call with me. I'd be happy to help you folks. I hope you found this helpful and useful. If you have questions, message me or post your questions in the comments, and I'll do more videos and I'll answer them through Facebook Live or through videos, or we can get on a one-on-one call, and we'll wait to see what Trump comes up with. Meanwhile, stay safe, be well, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, friends.